Good morning, it's SmallBizDavid, and we are talking about some horrible news that was published today. I picked up a story from the WashingtonPost.com. I get headline news on the Washington Post every morning. And I also read just a moment ago, before we started, some information that maybe it was published in the New York Times, that the figures just came out for August, and there were only 95,000 new jobs created in the month of August. Very disappointing. Unemployment was down by 0.1%, I believe, and the comment there, the initial comment there is folks have stopped looking for a job. So the unemployment, they've taken themselves off of unemployment rolls, or their unemployment has timed out. It's not a very good situation. Absolutely not. And you've heard me say many times, once again in a study that the Kauffman Foundation did, that every month for 36 consecutive months, our economy needs to create 300,000 new jobs for 36 months consecutively to get us back to a sense of what I call normalcy, where we were 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's not happening, my friends. Why is it not happening? Simple answer. Two days ago, I shared with you some good news for existing small businesses, but bad news, once again, for people who are looking for jobs. Productivity in the United States in the month of August actually increased by 2%, and a 2% increase in productivity, when you look at all the businesses across the country, is a big number. So that's a good thing. Increased productivity. What it means is that businesses were getting the most, or getting 2% more out of their existing workforce, which is great news, because essentially they've been able to cut their costs by cutting jobs and getting more productivity out of the folks who maintained their jobs, kept their jobs. Not very good for people who lost their jobs or who are looking for a job. Not good news at all. Now is the time, my friends, to take control of your own destiny. If you're without a job or you're looking for a job, take control of your destiny and create a job for yourself. There has never been a better time. If there's less things going on, less people being worked, the demand for goods and services haven't changed at all. So the opportunity to create new customers for yourself has never been greater than it is right now. Well, I can say that for my experiences of the last 40 years. The opportunities to start to grow and develop a business have never been better. I've never seen them better in my time. The cost to start a business is dramatically lower when there is less demand for service. Well, if the same goods and services need to be created, and there's less people creating them, the demands for those goods and services still are there, but somebody has to be able to provide them. That's a business opportunity if I ever saw one. Then, too, something that I have seen and realized in the last 4 years, particularly the last 4 years, as I've been developing new businesses in the last 4 years, that technology, oh my goodness, technology which creates more efficiencies in our life, it gets better every day. More people are exposed to technology, and more people get excited by technology and say, geez, so-and-so is doing this. I think if I did it a little bit differently, I can do it better. I can bring more value to the marketplace. So taking my social marketing experiences of the last 40 years and coupling them, interacting them, integrating them with today's social network technology, we've created a very optimized, very Googleized landing page that has allowed me to start 7 or 8 new, different businesses, things that I wasn't doing before. And it can do the same thing for you. It's not that I'm necessarily any smarter. I do have years of experience, so that certainly plays into the formula. I can see business opportunities. But I want to share that. I want to share what I've been able to do for myself and share it with you. And that is what motivates me and motivates David's Barter community to create an environment where we can all work together, we can collaborate. Keep that word in mind. It's the most important small business keyword happening right now is collaboration, where you don't have to go at it alone. You have certain strengths and weaknesses as an individual. Join forces with other small business startups like yourself who have certain strengths and weaknesses, and match them up. Your strengths are their weaknesses, their strengths, your weaknesses. Work together. Help each other build that entity that you are trying to build. And in doing so, there's a new entity being built. Those folks working together. Those folks collaborating. Collaboration may come in the form of barter. Let me explain how barter plays into our community. Barter is really a mindset. I actually did my first barter deal, formal one. We all barter and trade in our lifetimes. As little kids, we've done it. But I did my first actual formal barter agreement my very first year in my own business. Well, something that I had actually been involved. My first year out of college, although I did some very entrepreneurial business kinds of things in college, my first year out of college, I partnered with a very, very wealthy man on a publishing endeavor, and he provided the money, I provided the talent, I provided the skills, and we made a great team. The very next year, because of circumstances, actually the death of my father, I started to get involved in my father's business with my mother as a business partner. And 90 days into that relationship, I told my mother that I really, really wanted to be her son and not her business partner. She understood exactly what I was saying. So my grandfather, her father, said to me, okay, if that's what's happening, you're going to buy the business from your mother and you're going to pay her $10,000 for it. Okay, Papa, as I called my grandfather, you are the chairman, and if that's what I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to do. And it was probably the single greatest business event, occurrence, happening in my life, because at a very, very early age, I took on the responsibilities of paying $10,000 for a business. So I had there was any risk factors were gone. I just had to do it, and I did it. I learned a lot of lessons early on. Certainly that lesson of partnership, and I've never had another partner in business, so to speak, a formal business partner. My mother was my first and last one, and that's not to say, once again, that partnerships can't work. They do work. They do work because both partners, or three partners, or four partners, or five, whatever it is, they all want to make it work, and they get out of a selfishness kind of thing, and they work together as a team. Once they stop working together as a team, the partnership is going to fall apart. And we see lots of partnerships that fall apart. So pursue it. Pursue that idea, but pursue it with a very open mind, and the mindset that you're going to have to maybe change your ways so that the partnership is going to work. Partners cannot be selfish. They cannot be selfish. When that selfishness attitude plays in, then somehow, sometime, somewhere, that partnership is going to fall apart. But let me go back to this story. I got off on a tangent here, as I often do. It's a good tangent, but I got off on it. Today, in the WashingtonPost.com, a blog by J.D. Harrison, with the title, "Small Businesses Created Essentially Zero Jobs in August." Both presidential candidates, and I'm quoting now, both presidential candidates, vice presidential candidates, and nearly every other politician on the campaign trail have at some point trumpeted, they haven't triumphed yet, they trumpeted the vast number of jobs small businesses create for American workers. But what happens, and this is me talking now, what happens when those jobs are not being created? Small businesses actually created essentially zero jobs in August, according to the latest report from the National Federation of Independent Business. You hear me talk about them often. NFIB is what the National Federation of Independent Business, those are the letters. Continuing a exceptionally sluggish year on the hiring front for the country's smallest firms. On the average, the number of workers dropped a minuscule 0.05% per company during the month, a slight drop from the readings in July, further suggesting that employees are hesitant to expand their payrolls amid the uncertainty of a closely contested election. Ooh, not good news. So we know that the hiring freeze is going to lasts for at least another 60 days as the two presidential candidates get out and sell their message. I have said it several times this week, and I'm going to say it again because I believe it. Small business owners are going to determine who the next president of the United States is. Why do I make that statement? Well, right now, there's another figure that's at play and pretty well accepted by both political parties. That the contest right now is pretty much neck and neck with 60 days to go. Might be a percentage point here, a percentage point there, but very, very, very close. However, supposedly there are 20% of the voters in this country who could vote either way. And I don't think we have ever seen a number that high, 20%. So what can be done? What can be done in the next 60 days? Well, first of all, we're going to see what the campaign promises are going to be. But in the meantime, and I'm going to end this segment with the statement, instead of waiting for a job to be created for you if you're unemployed or looking for a job, create your own job right now and start a business. And for 10,000 entrepreneurs who want to start a business right now, all you need to do is go register at davidsbarter.com, look for the red box, register, create a complimentary community marketing profile for yourself, then create a complimentary landing page. As a registration, we want to make sure that you have a good business idea, that you're not just wasting our resources and your time. And believe me, we're very open-minded about that. We want businesses to get started right now. And we've made the marketing, social technology, social network technology platform available for you to start a business now. What are you waiting for?